They are coming.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here.
Holy moly.
The ship's been hit!
Stop blowing holes in my ship!
Oh no.
Nice.
Hello there and welcome back to another Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever derpcast. Today we're going to be featuring the random map generator, which is fairly new for FAF, and have I got an epic game to showcase it on.
Yeah, boy.
We're going to be playing a 6v6 on this landlocked map here. It's split top versus bottom like this, so Team 1 are going to be on the top and Team 2 are going to be on the bottom like that. So let's go. Starting off with our Chad UEF com here in Budweiser orange. It's What's Up. In Disney pink, we've got Mater 1, who I assume is some kind of robot pickup truck.
My name's Mater.
At the back here, the highest rated player in the game today, it's going to be Cascade playing in Waterfall Blue. His clan tag, by the way, clearly the British Broadcasting Company. We don't do porn on this channel. In Poop Brown, spreading that pollen, it's Allergen, making everyone's lives miserable. And at the back, in probably a Cybran air slot, making stealth bombers, judging on the size of the map, it's Azrael, and he is playing in Fallen Angel Red and or Diablo 4 Red, possibly. And their front player over here, it's One Nation, and he is playing in Cyan. He's playing Aeon. He's going to be spreading the way.
The way is achieved through a path of enlightenment.
Down here on Team 2, on the red com here, playing Seraphim, we've got Terrari. Next to him, in Dementia Yellow, we've got Gamer Grandpa. He's not forgetting anything at the moment. He appears to be making units. Some quick mech marines out for harassment. That's nice to see. Their front player down here is going to be Mr. Rightside.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine.
Why does the radio always play it? We will never know. And their three pocket black back players. Black players? There are three players at the back here. We've got in Aeon, Ayaya Huskadest. Do I really want to Google that?
Nice.
In Siberian Snow White, we've got Zaznobwa. And finally down here, in the grey UEF, going second air as you might expect, it's Spiky Noob, who, as we saw in another cast, spent nearly 2 hours getting bullied in a 4v1 Phantom game. Will he get bullied again today? Only time will tell. As our players start to meet, we've got a lot of harassing going out, both front players here harassing. I just want to thank everyone who's been supporting the channel and sharing the memes. It means a lot to me. It takes a lot of time to make these, so thank you very much. 501 subs, thank you very much. I've looked into almost all of your profiles, and I have to say some of you are into some really weird shit. Does that trigger anybody else, the fact that this is in the wrong place? This square should be here. Random map generator Chan, please. So it's kind of confusing like this, to be quite honest. If we turn on friend and foe units, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it's still fairly confusing though, to be honest. We've basically got a divide in here, so we've got some early raiding, and raiding is going to be really effective. This map is 20 by 20, and that means that this map is 400 square kilometers, which is huge.
That's quite big.
Early drop here from Zaznova, which is nice to see. He is going for this triggering mechs formation here, which is very sensible. 4 mechs is in very close proximity here. So let's look at our teams. The rating is perfect, so I assume that this is a opti-balance game, which would make a lot of sense. And obviously, we've got a big difference in the ratings. So highest player on Team 2 down here is going to be Gamer Grandpa and Ayaya. I really shouldn't call him in that. He might not even be a weeb. The highest player on Team 1 here, Cascade, is a lot higher, 1800. And obviously, I am going to be cheering for the absolute Chad here, who's marching in with his comm already, Mr. Right Side, who gets first blood here by the looks of this, picking off a Snoop with a Chad plasma cannon. A bit of a small skirmish in the middle here. Was that a factory build attempt to save this? If it was, that's amazing. Didn't work though. Hydro Rush at the front here for Was Up. And his opponent, Mr. Right Side, is collecting mexes, shoring this off. And he is in a 2v1, so there is technically a 2v1. So we might get a wheeling effect where Team 1 pushes up here and Team 2 pushes down here. So I can see this potentially having base trades, but the map is so large that I think that's probably going to slow it down. Team 1 definitely a lot slower to these mexes up here. Picking them up a lot slower. But they are still picking them up. And a bit of a push here by Gamer Grandpa. He's taking his comm out. And actually I didn't see that. Look at the reclaim. There is so much reclaim in these patches here. Thanks for the reclaim mod there, FAF, picking that up. A lot of reclaim. Almost in the bases. Mater 1 is picking it up with his comm here. So is Cascade, who's walked a long way forwards considering he started up there. So let's look at who's gotten the most reclaim. Well, it's dead even. Look at that. Dead even. Both teams even on eco. A fast, I would say this is fairly fast T2 here for Was Up. And Mr. Right Side is asking for E, so is he going to do the same thing? We might get a UEF Turtle War going on here. A 4 factory at the front build and an early Jester picking off this PD. Will that be allowed? Well, there's really no inties at all for Team 1. One intie here doing nothing. I think picking this off would be better, so you can go after the... so you can send some units through. Yeah, Gamer Grandpa looks like he's going to be quite aggressive this game, but he's facing 2 comms. Is he just doing this to secure the reclaim? That would be a pretty big brain idea. It's Aya who is picking this up. Now, obviously a lot of players who play FAF have a very long name history in which they've had a lot of different names, and other people know them by other names, but for the sake of new people, new players and new viewers, we're just going to call people in these games what they've called themselves at the time. That is a very nice raid, by the way. That looks like a distance build up here. So Gamer Grandpa distance building a factory, using those engineers to make more factories and just raiding this out. That's very strong. And Cascade will need to divert a lot of his attention and time into protecting this. So, great way to deal with a high-rated player. If you are facing a super high-rated player, bullying them off the map near the beginning of the game before their high APM and their game knowledge can kick in is pretty strong, actually. And a very fast T3, 7-minute basically T3 started for Was Up. Once he's doing energy-wise, well, he's stalling mass doing that. He could really use some reclaim. But if he gets that T3, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to oust him from any position he wants to burrow himself into. He's also be hard to snipe if he makes a SAM, but making T3 SAMs and stuff off of a Tech 2 base is I mean, this is all still Tech 1 mexes. Let me just enable the mini-map for you before, because this is a big game. It's definitely possible for me to miss things. If I miss things, I'm very sorry, but this is actually the first time I'm seeing this replay. So it's very easy to miss things that happen with so many players on the screen at once. I just try to pick out the most interesting things I can see. So NG drop here. Going for a drop on the main island. I guess for reclaim. Nice move. Who is progressing to T3 air? There's a lot of inties out. No T3 progression, just making Tech 2 engineers here. This is a Tech 3 air upgrade on the way here from Spiky Noob. If you didn't see him get bullied for nearly 2 hours, by the way, you can go and check that game out on in the casts feed. It's just still Tech 2 here. What's going on at the back? Well, this is a nearly finished Tech 3 air upgrade, and that is Cybran as well, so those stealth strats will be coming. Tech 3 air on the way here as well, so 9 minutes, very popular for T3 air. And the battle lines really haven't changed that much. Not a lot of raiding has been going on, and one nation here. I think this is very smart play from him. He knows he's in a 2v1 here, and he's opting to wall up, because raids that come through into his air players like this will be really hard for his air players to stop. So walling up, being defensive, I think that's a very smart play. I probably wouldn't have gone for the Tech 2 air factory like this unless he's going to go mercies. I probably want to get halves out as quick as possible if I was in his position, but each to their own. Gamer Grandpa with the Tech 2 upgrade. And that T3 upgrade that Was Up is doing has really not gone very well. Look at that, he's still stalling mass. It's not gone well for him, to be quite honest. And you can see how this intrusion up here, the red is enemy for his view, is that's difficult for him to deal with. His team is struggling with that, I think. Very clever by Gamer Grandpa getting up there, and he's got the Tech 2 point defense. And the great thing about Tech 2 point defense, especially if you're UEF, is not only do you get that health advantage on your turrets. Look at that Chad turret there, 3 guns, it's got 3 legs, just like me. Is that you can force control over the reclaim fields. So when you plonk a PD round down, you get that reclaim field. No one is going to be able to really come in here unless they're going to want to get blacked. So you can creep them forwards, reclaim the stuff behind, and be a real nuisance. This is a big problem though. This is very smart. A raid full of tanks. Kind of a shame that there's less Lobos in here. But if this comes in and takes out kind of the base here, that will be an amazing raid. Stalling at the front and sneaking around the back. Very sneaky, I like it. And Ayaz, I really don't know how to pronounce his name. Ayahuska. I'll have to do better than that. He's bringing his comm to the front. And that army is going to be sent back to deal with these long lines. If only they'd been kind of shift-G'd first rather than given a big move. Oh, they have been shift-G'd. Maybe a shift-G here first and then a move. It wouldn't clump them up so much like this. These long lines like that are not effective. You're minimizing your DPS by kind of having a... Although, if your enemy is going to stream in like that, you're actually getting a pretty good concave, ironically. It's going to be a massive drive by Luke. Turning those tanks into scrap very quickly. No assistance from these blue tanks up here, the THAMs, for Cascade. He's just keeping his units by his base, and he's got all of his land factories paused. And that tech, this is finished, and he walks straight into PD range and just starts a Ravager. Big balls play here by, he's just taking those Tech 2 PD shots in the face. And you've got to feel like Mr. Rightside, come on Mr. Rightside, you need to make some more PDs here. Push this con back. If he is allowed to make Ravagers, he's going to wreck your base. Those Ravagers have amazing range. So the raid did manage to get through here, but it doesn't look like it's really done any damage. Not enough artilleries in that raid to do damage to a base. So he's kind of stuck with being a nuisance. This will be a good place to raid. Lots of engineers are squishy. It doesn't look like it. Oh, pick this off. Look at the upgrade. The upgrade's nearly done.
You just got pranked, bro.
Oh, F's in the chat for that mechs. That's so annoying when you're upgrading a mechs like that, because you're doing it slowly because you haven't got any engineers nearby, and someone picks it off. So frustrating. So T3 engineers on the field, T3 power going up. Where are the rest of the air players at? T3 power going up, ASF under construction. T3 engineers rolling off, T3 power on the way, SAM's being built. And this is all very sensible, because when you have a bit map this big, ASF under construction. That looks like ASF under construction. When you have a map this big, it's almost always going to come down to air control, because fighters, just in the real world, having air dominance is so strong. This first strat out here, where is that going to go? Cascade with the early strat. The 1800 rated strat. Ooh, it achieves basically nothing. Very sad. Poor strat indeed. A nice 1700 mass there. And I think if this is Cybran, can you bomb all of these with one strat? That's disgusting if you can. And here the UEF Turtle War. Well, the plasma cannons are actually being held back. There's Mongoose as well. And more Tech 2 PD required. What can these hit? Well, they can only hit the comms. That sounds slightly unfortunate. They're not shooting anything, and the shield will definitely go down if they're not careful. Is this Ravager going to fall? Yes, it is, which is very good for them. But a plasma cannon is the wrong thing to be building. If anything, he needs to retreat and build artillery, I think, at this point. He's not going to be able to stop the Ravagers with just Tech 2 PD. Tech 2 PD just gets crushed by Ravagers. This will just die to Ravager fire. Tactical missile defense not quite finished there. And I don't see any TMLs on the map. Obviously, I am, as you know, unable to give up the advanced strategic icon mod. I've kept the icons for the TMD and the TML, as well as the nukes and anti-nukes, because I feel it just makes it a little bit easier. This pink and red for the TMD and the red for the TML makes it a bit easier to see on the map. I know everybody loves the default icons, but let's be honest, the default icons would never get approved in a modern game. They are a little bit cancerous to the eyes. Great run by here by Gamer Grandpa, off on his walk here with his disability thams. And gonna get potentially picked off by some Tech 1 bombers, no anti-air. I feel like if you're going to be raiding, that it's really important to build a lot of arties in your raids. It's all about doing high DPS. Staying power is really not important in raiding, because you're mainly going to get picked off by air and other stuff you can't really fight anyway. A stealth shield here is an excellent idea. That will hopefully stealth his base, but he does need to finish it. Mr. Rightside, finish the stealth. Okay, so this here will hide units in this circle from... It's getting run by as well, which is bad. Oh, I've swapped to the wrong player, sorry. Yeah, so he can kind of see the stealth gen. He kind of built it in range, so it's not going to work out so well. Maybe I should turn that off so you guys can keep tabs on all the players. We've got a large number of flapjacks. Very cool looking unit. Reminds me of something out of Red Alert, to be honest. You know the tanks with the giant missile on their back, the comically huge rocket. And a good raid here as well, so poor Mr. Rightside getting pushed back. He's using Tech 1 bombers to defend it, which is very good. And there is a small TML base out here. One kill, so it's clearly done some damage already. I didn't see that. But definitely doing some damage. And TML is very difficult to... I mean, the map is perhaps a little large for TML supremacy. But definitely a strong thing to have. Not a lot of terrain to hide behind. These mesas here do give some protection. And Mr. Rightside's made his own Ravagers, but I don't think he's going to be able to outbuild Was Up, who is starting with an advantage. Actually, yeah, Tech 1 bombing them is an excellent plan. And there's a lot of gunships here for Azrael. So these are the Cybran gunships, and they have AoE on their missiles. They're little rocket pods they fire. Where are they going? They can do a lot of damage. He could clean up basically all of this. There's some anti-air here, but there's some flak here that will shut it down. And how is the air control looking? It looks to be very much in Team 1's favour, to be honest. A few ASF here, but that's not going to be enough to challenge this stack of fighters. The Inties coming in. Might as well use your Inties, to be honest. But he only gets one kill before they get absolutely rinsed by these ASF. That was not consensual in any way. And almost no point rallying these ASF in right now because there's so many in opposition. He's going to get his air cleaned up there. So big air advantage for Team 1. And the Flapjacks and the PD and shield creep. Look at this, shield creeping with shield bubbles here by Meta is definitely working. He's pushed his opponent all the way back, and the PD is almost going to be in range of his. Yeah, the artillery is almost in range if he makes another PD here. That's never where you want to be, because these only work at very long range. Yeah, almost he can't shoot because it's within the minimum range. So we've got a large number of broadswords. Remember, these are the high damage, heavy gunship that the UEF has. Small anti-air railgun on the top, but also the capability to transport units. These can pick up Titans and Percivals. Be very careful of these. They can probably... Oh, there's a SAM here, but... broadsword's very dangerous. I'm not sure why they've been given a pause, because they have no active abilities, but... been given a pause command. One Nation also using gunships, and he's using the new Aeon modded gunship. Remember, they've been given an upgrade recently, given that quad laser on the front. What's happening over here? Well, there's a small push, but these Titans are going to do pretty well against balled up Tech 1 units, I would imagine, especially with Mongeese behind them. Probably get shut down, unfortunately, by this PD. Air superiority fighters over the top for Team 1, with Tech 1 bombers causing a problem again. And these Shift G commands here, although they do clump up your units and give you a good advantage in fights on the land. Oh, Was Up getting almost sniped here. I think he got saved there. So Cascade came in with the ASF and basically saved him. One Nation under attack at the front here. A lot of Zooies against a formation of shields. Large numbers of Tech 1 bombers being used by both teams. Huge ball of Tech 1 bombers, look at this. Look at them all. Absolutely savage. He almost got through the shield in a single pass. Look at that. But obviously the SAM has splash damage, so excellent micro there. Basically picks them all off before they get a second pass. And he really needs to micro his gun turrets to take down the shields if he can. RAS going up, we've got eco upgrades all over the place, shield upgrades, reclaiming a Tech 1 factory. I think it would be faster, Zasnova, to simply delete the factories and then reclaim them than do that. 2,000 mass on this missile, so it has been doing damage. And One Nation strolling into combat here. He's got the sensors upgrade and the shield upgrade. No gun upgrade. Does he have... He doesn't have overcharge. I'm not sure why he's seeking combat here with no gun. This is a dangerous army, these siege tanks.
Commander under attack.
And lightning tanks as well to protect from the air. I think he needs to be very careful here. That shield is not a big... Remember, the Aeon tech, the Aeon low-level shield is not that strong. He's seen it, he's running away, but has he just killed himself? One Nation, what are you doing? You're supposed to show them the way. This is not the way.
I'm kind of retarded.
Oh, One Nation. Very smart there. Terrari picks him off with just an Otham run in there. And that's unfortunate for him. He was doing fairly well there. Remember, he is in a 2v1 situation, basically. And his base is now gifted, so we are playing full share mode. So this his game, his base has been gifted over to Cascade here, who now is almost on double eco because he's got 2 bases. And a big TML gets pinged out here, but there are actually no TMLs here. They've already been destroyed. So, not scouted. They were, I guess they were reclaimed. Or they were just destroyed by bombers when we weren't looking, but they are no longer there. And Aya is throwing away his ASFs again over enemy territory, trying to make Oblivion turrets. A blaze rolls off the off the production line and immediately gets blacked. Look at that, the blaze. Probably not the best tool for getting rid of obsidians. Like, he just gets one-shotted. Ah, poor blaze. They're really not very strong against heavy units, especially T3 units. And the Tech 2 Land Factory HQ here looks like it's going to be blapped. That blaze doing so little damage. Very sad. Poor Aeon. And this turtle war here continues. Lots of mass reclaim to be fought over. Whoever manages to push forwards and pick this up is going to find themselves much richer. Was up results to a huge bank. He's queued up 9 Tech 2 artilleries the turtle way. But that's very effective, particularly against someone who's balling up units like this. They will probably get their value back pretty quickly. And these siege tanks are gaining veterancy. They've both paid for themselves several times over. Now they're just going to be allowed to gank all the mexes here. Kind of looks like it. That is a big problem. And they really don't have any way to deal with this. It's just 4 lightning tanks and 4 Othams. This is like, you might not like it, but this is actually peak Seraphim land. This is what peak Seraphim land looks like. It's just awkward to deal with. It's just kind of slow. I guess that's the way around it, but still hella annoying. Splitting 1 tank off here to come over here. That's nice. Good move. Keeping the rest together. Blocks of Tech 1 PD will potentially work. Reclaim my base to deny the mass. Well, yeah, there's a lot of mass sitting here. And this TAC missile base is looking particularly scary. Look at this. 8 TAC missile launchers already under a stealth field. Whole bunch of zappers at the front to stop it from countermeasures. From counter missiles. And it's not scouted. That is very, very dangerous. Very expensive, but also very dangerous. Remember, when you start getting up to like 10 TAC launchers, you're looking at kind of half an experimental. Remember, the missiles are pretty expensive too. I do like this. I like the spearhead. Look at that. The Chad spearhead. Not very effective against this kind of setup though. Shielded artilleries. Maybe if he got behind this hill, that would be effective. Actually thinking making Titans right now and running them past would be as good as he could do, but these Percys are a problem too. What is his response? Well, he's working on a fat boy. And I realise I'm not actually reading the chat, so if I'm missing things in the chat, you have to forgive me. A lot of strats being built, and the strats are being used to deal with these tanks, which is pretty good way of doing it. It's just very expensive. Oh my goodness, these 2 siege tanks. Look at that. Look at the value. Makes me very excited. They're just rolling on out. So much damage as well. Siege tank can easily just kill all these mexes. And if he goes and sits like here, and the bomb drops, the bomb will kill the mexes. Disgusting. Very hard to deal with. And all of these other siege tanks were sent backwards. Look at all this that was sent back to deal with it. The damage these have done. Look at that. That is 31,000 mass. Well, let's say 20,000 mass worth of damage there in reclaim. Absolutely disgusting. Really good raid there, very strong. Another TAC launcher here. No veterancy on it. And the TAC launchers are going. Where is it going? Well, this is a very curious. They are Cybran. It looks like he's going. So he got the land HQ. So that's a pretty big brain. So Beta 1 is no longer on Tech 3 land. He's probably on Tech 1 land. But this is dubious. Like, why would you go over here when you could probably just snipe what's up straight away? There's 1 TMD. You could just save up 10 missiles here and just kill him. Just wipe him out the game immediately. Perhaps they're trying not to. Perhaps they're trying not to feed mass to Cascade. Remember, higher rated players. Oh wow, that was a great bomb there. Paid for itself in a single bomb by the looks of it. Higher rated players are normally much more likely to be able to handle multiple bases in a decentralized playstyle. So you want to be very careful if you're playing on full share mode. You want to be careful that you are destroying as much economy as you can. Are these going for the anti-missiles? Yes, they are. That's very, very smart. Does that mean that he can now kill the anti-nuke? Sorry, wrong click. Can he kill the anti-nuke? No, it's not in range. And this ACU here is not in range either, which is very unfortunate. If they built them here, they'd be able to kill this. I really think sniping the ACUs would be a good idea. Even if you dump all that mass into this guy. Well, that is a problem. A Wassa on the way, and remember Team 1 have a huge amount of air control as well. These Harbs, they're not going to do very well up here. Harbs don't actually fight that well against siege tanks in close range. Especially if there's a big bank of Tech 2 PD here. Nice work on these mexes. That one actually, the missile hit the storage. That's kind of unusual. Don't normally see that. I assume these cyber missiles will take it out. Yes, they do. Remember, the cyber missiles, when shot, split into multiple parts. Look, so they still do deal damage. So they can be very hard to deal with. And strat bombs coming in to deal with the base. The T3 SAMs there were never finished, and huge air superiority. And looks like they're going to continue that. Spiky Noob's ASF getting, well, that was also non-consensual there, getting wiped out. And the Awasa is up. Mr. Right Side, it's coming for you, my dude. You need to build SAMs. And where is a good target? If this is your Awasa, where do you go? I would be tempted to bomb this TAC missile base. It's been an absolute pain in the ass so far. Oh. Pulling it back. You also drop a bomb here, but you're crushing that already. Look at this. Otham's running in. So the bomb is dropped on the army here. Oh, look at that. All those Titans just fall over. How much damage did that do? 14,000 mass. We're going to get another bomb dropped here. Oh, straight on Mr. Right Side's base. He has quite a few Cougars, but Cougars are not very good at dealing with experimentals like that. You really need the flayers, the SAMs. And the air is getting crushed. Spiky Noob's air is just getting chased all over the place. Different control groups. Look, he split his air up to chase them all down. That's absolutely disgusting. What a try-hard. Oh, another one. Maybe we should follow this Awasa here. Put on tracking mode. He's dropping the bomb on the commander there, you can see. Doesn't get the kill. Lots of flak launched. Comes back for another turn. Plenty of SAMs going, but oh, look at the low health comm. It's coming for you. Run, Mr. Right Side, run! No! Oh, he can't run away. And the experimental bomber. Oh, can he get a bomb off on the nuke as well? No, he doesn't get it. And there's so many SAMs. Look at all those SAMs. The bomber gets shot down. And it lands on the air grid as well. Oh my goodness. Look at the economy. Team 1, 500 behind there. That is a fairly significant blow. They've lost this front protective base. They've lost a player. And now there's Percy streaming into an area only defended by Titans. There's just no way that... Look at that. There's just no way that Titans can beat Percy's like this. Boop. Boop. Wow. Poor Mr. Right Side. You fought well, Mr. Right Side. Don't beat yourself up about it. You tried very hard. You did well. You're against more than one player, and they were higher rated than you. You got killed by someone nearly... Well, you got killed by someone double your rating. So... You were basically enough of a threat for the highest rated player to send their experimental at you. As far as I'm concerned, that means you did good. Now, Team 2, they're asking for transports. Their push here is somewhat stalled, I think. The Harbs weren't managed to penetrate. They've got another Otham up here. This one with 16,000 mass killed. So much damage. Just pushing up here. If only the Harbs had come up here. There are some exposed comms, and Azrael has transferred his base over to Cascade as well. Not sure why that is. Was it in the chat? Did I miss it? Quite possibly. I didn't see it. He sent all his units over. Maybe he had to take a bathroom break. Who knows? And we've got a chicken here. So Allergen is rampaging through Gamer Grandpa's base. The base gets transferred immediately to Spiky Noob. Not sure why that happened. And I will need to swap the map back to... No! Good grief, it's disgusting. Why is it in white? Does anybody know why the map is suddenly white? I don't get it. Another Awasa on the field. Chicken rampaging through the base. This is looking dire for Team 2 already. They've rebuilt this tack base though. Maybe they can get lucky and get a snipe. Maybe. Who's in range? Well, Was Up is still in range, that's for sure. Harb's doing good work defending. There's a few restorers on the field. Look at the transports with their little EMP weapon. It doesn't actually affect... EMP guns like that don't actually affect the chicken. But never mind. Zasnoba is in real danger here. He's got Percy's in his base. He's definitely under threat here. That nuke is half built, and I assume this Awasa is being reclaimed to fund something. Yeah, double Fat Boy out. Team 1 cleaning up the air, which is dealing with the chicken here. It's taking fire from all sides. Is it gonna die? Yes, it is, but it goes down in the base. And Gamer Grandpa just lifts off. Where is he going with this? He's just on an adventure here with his comm. Is he gonna... Please, don't suicide. He's just off on an adventure. Look at that. Does Team 1 have radar coverage of this? No! They actually can't see it. They actually can't see it. He doesn't have any stealth in the... You can remember it is fact you can put a stealth generator, a mobile stealth, in a transport, and it will actually give the transport a stealth field, which is hilarious. These Fat Boys actually doing work. Double Awasa though. Double Awasa versus double Fat Boy. Yeah, that's not going to work out too well for the Fat Boys. The Fat Boys can't actually shoot the Awasas. This huge bank of SAMs though, I assume that's going to do damage. Why did they stop? They could have killed the nuke. Now they're taking huge amounts of SAM fire. Just kind of dancing around here, but they're taking a lot of fire. I guess they killed all the ASF off. This bomb going to land on the air grid. Kills the nuke. What a devastating blow that one is. Another bomb. Where's that going for? Well, it landed on the Tech 3 Land HQ. This Awasa gets shot down, but it stays on the map, so it is reclaimable. Huge amount of ASF getting destroyed here. And this Awasa, well, this lands on the base here, kills another T3 Air HQ. Absolutely disgusting. And this comm may no longer be snipeable with that. Oh, that's actually, it's UEF TMD, so yeah, this is probably still snipeable with the Cybran missiles. And here is a very big snipe, look at that! This looks like some Braille, or maybe a space invader. Look at this! What is this trying to spell out? Can he spell out a word with that? It looks like kanji or something. Where is he going with this? He's flying over all of the TMD, look. They're just shooting it. Well, he's going for the T3 Land HQ, and he gets it, overkills it by the looks of things. Absolutely disgusting. Where is this one going? Well, this might actually be for the comm here. Is it? No, it's going for the anti-nuke maybe, and the anti-nuke is loaded. How much money is this? How many missiles? My goodness. It didn't even go for the anti-nuke, it picked a random shield. Absolutely filthy. 1, 2, 3, 9, 16. This has got to be like 25 tac launchers. That is more mass cost than an experimental. And Wazop might get one-shotted through a shield here.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh. You have shield and like 9 TMD? Well, I have 25 tac launchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, like nearly 30 tac launchers. This costs 5,000 mass to fire this weapon for 1 second. That's how much this costs. That's absolutely filthy. I love it. The fact that there's Cybran as well just makes it so much more difficult to defend. Is this just going for 1 mex? Yes, it is! A 5,000 mass launch to kill a mex, a T3 mex. I would think they should really use a shot against this fat boy. That would actually be worth it. And what else is happening on the game? Well, my goodness, Gamer Grandpa came up here with his comm. He only had T2. He's dropped at the back in this pond, and he's getting RAS, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Gamer Grandpa, is your IQ 9 million, or have you just made a terrible tactical blunder? I assume we will find out. Double Fat Boy wrecking the Perseus here. They do need to be microed though. Perseus will probably still win. And a lot of anti-air positioned as well. Just more Fat Boys. Nuke being rebuilt here, but it wasn't built on the wreck by the looks of things. I wonder if actually it would be more efficient to shift G some of these. To take the launchers, fire at a target, and then shift G on something else.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, look at that! The demolition! They were all so close to each other. This is the sexiest attack missile base I think I've ever seen. It's just absolutely horrific to deal with. Surely Team 1 will identify this and just... They have to deal with it. No one will be safe. Look at the range. Oh, well, maybe not. Another tac missile snipe here. Definitely possible. But only half of them can reach it. Look at all those transports. What is going on? This is... I don't think this is big brain. I think this might be I think this might be smooth brain here. I don't think that's big brain. Big line of missiles out again, and whalers on a patrol route here in the middle of loads of ASF. Well, some of the missiles actually made it in. Huge launch again here, and is Meta 1 going to get tacked out of existence? Look at this huge battery of tac missiles and of TMD shooting them all down. I don't think there's enough. Oh, it took all the shields down. If there was another volley, but there's not. There's no other volley. These fat boys doing work. And were these whalers bait whalers? Are they bait whalers? Is this like a retard magnet to bring them over the Cougars? There's not enough Cougars for it to work like that. And a huge number of strats. And another Awasa. That is definitely going to end the fat boys here. Nothing they can really do about that. What have we got here? Well, there's the GC moving up, and that's moving straight past here. What other experimentals have we got on the field? Nope, no experimentals. Well, I say no expendals. We've got triple chicken here versus one chicken. A huge push from Triari. This is amazing. I don't know where he's gotten all that mass from, but he's got shields, he's got engineers building SAMs behind it. This is a very dangerous push. This needs a lot of attention. It might even be worth pulling the Awasa back. The Awasa is having some microing issues here. It's doing a rip Fat Boys, they did well. Yeah, they definitely pushed back. I think they could have done with some more boys building SAMs like this to bait in. The poor Fat Boys just getting killed here. I don't think they can survive. Bombing this would be a much better choice than the Fat Boys right now. This is so much more of a threat. And this GC is coming a lot closer. It's really getting close. They want to be very careful of this. Does Meta 1 see it? It's just walking in. Where is his comm? Well, his comm's just sitting here at the back, look.
Action is coming.
The tac ping goes down on the comm. Meta 1, he's sitting there with Tech 3 engineering. He's got no overcharge. Building, well, PD. He needs to overcharge this to survive. You know, he tried to get into the shield, but it's not enough.
What the fuck was that?
And Gamer Grandpa is extremely happy about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The GC goes down inside the base. So now it is a 5v3, and Team 1, who looked absolutely desperate at the Team 2, sorry, down here, looked desperate a little while ago when they had their bases deleted. Now look, well, they are 2 players up. And they've got more map control, they've got Fat Boys pushing here, they've got this tac base, which is extremely dangerous. They've got 3 chickens here facing off against, well, to be honest, 3 chickens in a defensive position. This is like the farm. Chickens come in, mass comes out. It's just chickens everywhere. Now what would you do as a Seraphim in this position to end the stalemate? You can't really build T2 artillery, but a attack missile base can be pretty dangerous. Also the comm is right here. Another comm here. We need to sort of start thinking about ending the game. Surely. We've got these Awasas which are very destructive. I really think they should use them on this. But maybe they're just considering this is like 6,000 mass per launch, that it might be better to just let them launch and stuff. Maybe take some units and go around here and be annoying. And the comm here has been upgraded to, it's been renamed, They Will Never Find Me. Well, can they see him? They can't. I don't think they actually have... And they would need sonar anyway, right? Yeah, they don't have sonar. So hiding in the water actually working out. Lots of positive chat here between players. I like to see that. We don't want to see too much salt. We want to see people helping each other. And this is an enormous air grid. Look at that. Look at this. This is like going to Tokyo with all the huge buildings. A nuke there out, and you can see the nuke on the map. It's coming from looks like it's coming from Spiky Noob's base. This huge air grid up here, definitely worth nuking. But is it going to get through? Well, I can see an anti-nuke here. So, potentially not. Is it going to come too close to this anti-nuke? Yes, it is. Slightly too close. What was the range on that? Oh, it was close. It's actually Spiky Noob. This is the second time he's... Remember in the last game when he died, it was because he thought he was covered by an anti-nuke and he wasn't. And in this game he's tried to nuke someone else. And he's miscalculated it again. Poor Spiky Noob. Savaged again. Big old wave of missiles coming out from here. Did he shift G these? If he shift G's all these missiles, all these planes, oh look at this! Oh, they got seen. That would have been amazing. Look at where they're queued up everywhere, look. That would have been such a good snipe. Who is that? 1100 rated player queuing up snipes on grounded ASF. Absolutely filthy, I love it. And what is this? Have you ever seen something like this? Ever? Hold on a minute. Let me lose the cinematic mode. Look at this. This is like the cinematic from the start of Forged Alliance. Look at all the bombers. Look at them all.
They are coming.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Holy moly.
Look at that formation. And here they come. It looks like Aya is definitely going to be the target here. You can see the bombers splitting up. Will they get his comm? No, they're not, but the bombers will. Oh, wrecked. About 30 strat bombers there. This one gets shot down. Another huge bomb goes after the air HQ again. Bombing the air HQs does seem to be very flavour of the month in this map. Look at all these idle engineers. They just saw their air HQ get deleted and they immediately got depression. Huge tac wave. Look at this big space invader coming in here. What is that going in? What is that going after? Just a Tech 2 shield again. And we've got a big chicken war. 4 chickens up here for Allergen. It looks like he's seen off Terrari's or Tamari's chickens. This one dying to Otham's by the looks of things. But the lightning storm, the sting in the tail for the chicken here, does look like it's going to pick off some of them, or even all of them. Look at that, savage. And no action yet from our hidden comm. They will never find me. He is upgrading Tech 3 by the looks of things. Tech 3 engineering. Attack missile base, maybe? That could be effective. Huge amount of bombers again. Fat Boy fighting Percival's down here. Not a great fight for the Fat Boy. His shield does recharge fairly quickly. A lot of mass on the map. 500,000 mass. Definitely enough for a Paragon. And talking of a Paragon, we've got a Yelona Os started here. What other late games have we got? Probably none for Team 1. But is there one for Team 2? A Scathus here maybe? No? No? What is this? Well, there's a Paragon and it's half done. Spiky Noob going for the Paragon again. Will he actually be able to keep one this time? I think the last time we saw him he lost 5 Paragons. Oh, it was a disaster. And while there's this slight lull in the game, definitely like to give a shout out to Jip, who made this cinematic mod that I've been using to do the flyovers of the map. And Jip and Azrael, who is actually playing in this game, by the way, have been doing some great work in FAF Develop. That's what this game is hosted in, the FAF Development Kit. And you can see it's really not going into negative time dilation to deal with the lag. It's actually much more efficient with the way that it's using the processor. And the way they're doing that is they're cleaning up the original game code very slowly. They're fixing things like the Cybran drones that you can see whenever Cybrans are building something, they're using these little drones, and they're actually fixing them up, making them use a little bit less. And they're able to make the game a little bit more stable, which is a huge advantage, I think you'll agree, over the original FAF and any of the other modded versions. So if you want to help out, I think you can test the FAF development version that they're working on. Give them a shout out. They're making FAF great again. Great to see. Look how many bombers is this? Cascade, you absolute monster. 53 strat bombers. That's absolutely devastating. Where are they going? Well, T3 scouts out. They're looking for that comm. They must be. They're looking for the comm. And I think Terrari is not long for this world. Can he dodge? Well, the bombers aren't coming for him. Yeah, they are. They're all being given bombing commands around like that on a huge shift G. So there's no way he can dodge. And he gets wiped out. And now the game is a 3v3 again. And this time it looks like it's swinging towards Team 1. Let's look at the eco. It's dead even. This game could go either way. On the right hand side of the map we've got a large number of Tech 2 gunships, these Spectres, that heavy cannon that they've got that does splash damage against land units, and they're going to be fighting the chickens here. Remember, all the chickens do have, my goodness, I wish that mouse button wouldn't do that, all the chickens do have anti-air on them, they do have flak. But I think these gunships are going to do enough damage. No, they're not. In comes some ASF to protect them. And down the gunships go. Speaking of fixing code and improving things, I've been working on the audio, as you said, so I've got in... So originally the audio was going through the sound card for the game, and I was also recording off of the motherboard another audio channel for the microphone at the same time and then patching them into the same Premiere file. But now OBS is recording dual channel audio properly. So with the dual channel audio fixed, I'm kind of hoping it will be much better for you. I know some people were saying that that wasn't in a good place. Thanks for pointing that out. Sometimes it is a bit hard to notice. Also, should have removed the mouse wheel sound. Look at this little stack of Redeemers here. They are all shooting at the same targets. That's actually not very efficient. A donut out. Did the Paragon finish? Yes, it has! The Paragon is done. Spiky Noob has a Paragon. He has so many drones, look, all at the second level, and he's working on a Salvation and a second Paragon. This is like a repeat of the other game where he's getting savaged. Strat bombers at the front, chickens at the side. He's got huge amounts of Percivals on the left hand side. Is he going to be able to hold long enough to use his Paragon, I think is the question. What is Cascade working on? Well, Cascade is halfway through a Yelona, and there's really not that many anti-nukes on the field. Just one here. These ones, this one is loaded, so probably 7 anti-nukes in total. There's these factory, oh look, the air grid here getting shift G'd. If you're wondering how to make all the bombers attack different targets, you can access that menu in FAF, press F1, type spread, use set a command for spread attack, you can queue them up, press your command and they will like attribute their attacks between them for maximum damage, a little bit like the siege tanks used to do automatically in StarCraft. Does a lot more damage, very useful little tip, and we're going to have a triple chicken versus triple spider here. The chicken's already heavily damaged but with a lot of veterancy. I think that's the battle we should stay with. There's a lot going on at the moment, but this seems like a good one. Look at that. Are they going to focus the same spider? Yes, they do. Are the spiders focusing the chicken? No, they appear to have gone for the one with the most health, which is terrible. And that's gone very badly for the spiders. He didn't even manage to get the laser on this one to fire. Big scout wave of ASF out, so they've seen the Paragon. And look at this! How many bombers is this? There's enough bombers to... 69! Nice. The bombers will blot out the sun. Another donut being worked on here. This Paragon at half health. I don't think there's enough drones to get anything up before they bomb both Paragons. Yeah, these bombers are going for this Paragon. The Paragon is going to blow up all the drones and the Salvation, surely. Yes, it does.
That still only counts as one.
And Team 2 are looking in real trouble again now. Looking at the eco, look, they're down below 1,000, almost half the eco. I mean, those attacks are depositing a lot of mass down here, but... Oh, they've got a crab. So Zaznubba has managed to get a crab up. We should just call him Zaz. I really can't do that name. I'm very sorry. We need professional Supreme. So I didn't actually realize that there was a huge Russian following until I started looking at YouTube stats this week. And it turns out there's a huge Russian YouTuber who streams FAF, and he's the most enthusiastic guy you have ever heard.
Все, начинаем смотреть игру остальных игроков, посмотрим по ходу битвы. Форсити высылает первого штурмовика сразу же к желтому на базу собирать инженер.
It's actually amazing. I can't understand what he's saying, but he does get me hyped to play. Where is this one going? Well, there's 4 anti-nukes there, one there. There's an anti-nuke here, so this looks like another fail nuke. And so if we remember, it's going here by these trees. Well, it's just going to get shot down by this one. Boop. No dice there, but that looks like it would have been outside of the range. Yeah, it would have been just outside of the anti-nuke range for this one, but they clearly didn't see the extra anti-nuke. Another chicken coming in, another chicken over here getting blapped by a crab. They've all got super high veterancy from killing off the bases. And yeah, the chicken is going to... The crab got some veterancy there, but this chicken is going to do a lot of damage. The anti-nuke is probably going to be lost, and that's really bad when you realize that they're making a Yelona. No, the Yelona died? He landed a donut on the Yelona. I didn't see it, but he just... he landed a donut on the Yelona. What a Chad play. Excellent play. This is actually going to do more damage, I think, to his own units, right? Does the Tsar beam damage your own stuff? No ASF on the field really anymore. Both players just working on spamming bombers. Huge amount of damage done to this air grid. And the chicken here has damaged the first nuke, but it doesn't look like it's going to get the second one. We'll have to see if he gets lucky with the ion storm. I don't think that anti-nuke's in range there. So let's look at the map control after 54 minutes. Well, that is not looking good here for Team 2. They are in a very small corner. They've got tanks pouring in. They've got holes in the middle of their base. Gamer Grandpa actually has a base. He's been given stuff. What is he doing? Well, he's actually got Billy Nuke on his comm. He has Billy Nuke on his comm. Allergen is working on Tech 3 artillery at the back here. And there are 2 comms. I mean, he has got potential to kill 2 comms here. This might end up being an absolute Chad play. Another chicken just walking in, and they can't stop them before they do damage. This is probably a derp award right here. Building 2 crabs to halfway instead of just making 1 and being able to defend. That is no good at all. Zaznaba, what are you doing, my friend? Just make 1 crab. Why? Why? He's probably busy. But this chicken is going to do massive damage. I assume he's just going straight for the anti-nukes. He must be going for the anti-nukes. Up here we've got a triple fat boy push. Look at this. This is the UEF dream. The eco looking terrible for Team 2, look. They've got half the eco. That is really, really dire. And what is this? Where were you during the Great Engineer Massacre of 2021? This factory has just been left. It's a HQ as well. It's just been left making engineers. The bombers come in to deal with the fat boys, but they don't actually kill any of them. They just take the shields off. And there are so many Cougars, look, that the bombers are just getting destroyed. And the fat boy advance continues. He's going to need something else to deal with these. All those engineers get killed. And the base has stabilized. We've got Spider and probably 2 crabs. Another crab here. We've got Donuts on defense. Reclaim the Salvation. That is a very sensible idea. Reclaim this Salvation to make the Paragon. That's very sensible. How is he doing for mass? Well, he's actually only stalling power, not mass. He needs E, but he just doesn't have enough. Look at this big bank of Tech 3 factories here. But he lost his power, basically. That's the problem. Big bombing run here. It's going to drop a fat boy. And the game is still running smoothly. Look, this is a 20 by 20 map, an hour in, and we're basically running smooth. We can even turn it up. Yeah, +2, +3 we can get even if we want. So, good work on that FAF Develop. I can't wait till that goes live. That will be great. It's going to fix so many problems. Always good to see things improving in the FAF world. What are these doing? Well, these are actually all full of... they're actually all full. So that is a lot of mass sitting there. And why didn't they bomb this? I don't know. I guess it's no longer really a threat. Can it hit anything anymore? Well, the anti-nuke, I guess. I mean, they do have a nuke. I think killing the anti-nuke might be a smart play. Both the anti-nukes are going to be in range. This poor fat boy. I mean, that was... the fat boy had no choice in that. It was unfortunate. Donut gonna sit above here. A wayward strat bomber tries to do the right thing and gets blapped. And where are the comms? Maybe we should start checking for the comms. So in a 3v3 it's going to be much more of an advantage to start sniping. Obviously, if you do play in assassination mode, there is a much larger incentive to kill off comms than there would otherwise be. But on full share, it's much more about destroying your economy of your opponents. So it's more like kind of old school games where you basically need to destroy your opponent's production and resource capture rather than the regicide format, which I used to enjoy so much in Age of Empires. And this could be pretty bad for the nuke. Unshielded, that Tech 3 artillery is up and firing on the missile base. Yeah, firing on the missile base. That's a sensible choice. That's actually a good way to get rid of it because this is so much mass. This is an experimental sort of mass here. A nuclear launch here from Cascade. Can he see that anti-nuke? He can see the anti-nuke. Why is he launching at the anti-nuke? Is this a big brain thing to try to kill off the artillery? Kill it off with the artillery before the nuke lands? Lines of factories, please. Nothing else matters, says Gamer Grandpa. Well, there are lines of factories here, and they're all making Cougars. Well, there you have it. He could see the anti-nuke, he just chose to ignore it. The Yelona Os is the nuke launcher that fired, and this, as you can see, the blast wave deleting all of those missile launchers. One last wave goes out, and I assume that's after this anti-nuke. Right? Maybe not. There's so many missiles. They're all just pummeling the floor. Fuck this particular area. I don't know what this bit of land did to to Team 2, but clearly they don't like it. The Paragon is back up. There's a second salvation, so the salvation is alive. I assume it's going after the... is it? There's another nuke queued up here. Those nukes are going to come thick and fast now. The salvation is firing on the nuke launcher. What is Cascades doing? Well, I assume he has plenty of power to fire it because of all this massive air grid. But he is about to start losing that air grid, to be honest. He is going to lose that air grid to the salvation. See if they can catch it before that nuke lands. Whoa, look at that chain reaction. The nuke coming down here is going to pick off this base. How will that affect the eco? So Team 2 are 1.4k. Drops them to 1.3k. Leaves most of the SAMs though. And the eco's still double in favour of Team 1, despite the Paragon. All of these factories obviously can be switched to just turning on and making mass units.
Strategic launch detected.
Another, and here comes the bombers. So the mass scout wave followed by the ASF, then the bombers, and then the Yelona nuke, which is a double nuke, by the way. If you're not used to seeing a Yelona. The double nuke, so it takes 2 anti-nukes to stop it. That's why he knew he could get through here. That was absolute Chad move. Full confidence in his Yelona powers. And I think the poor Salvations and the Paragon is going to get dunked again. -1 Salvation, -2. The Paragon goes down. And Spiky loses his second Paragon of the game. The Yelona lands. Will Zaznaba's comm manage to run out of the way? Remember, that blast wave travels slowly, but it kills everything. Will he get out? Oh, he just walks away casually, doesn't look back at the explosion. That's like a 90s 90s action film with Arnold Schwarzenegger in there. Just walks out of the explosion. Spiky Noob's comm is in danger now from all the strat bombers. He's taking damage to his shields, but he's sitting in a row of SAMs. He actually took, what, 10,000 damage there nearly? Will those bombers get a second pass? Yes, they will. And the Yelona is coming for him. Does he have any anti-nukes to defend it? If he doesn't, I think this game might just be over. Even if he doesn't die beforehand, his comm lost all of his shield. How many anti-nukes? 6! Well, there are 6 anti-nukes. If only those bombers had gone for the nuke eliminator here, they could have ended the game. But it doesn't look like that will be the case. And Tech 1 bombers queued up here. A huge fleet of them. Very effective for their mass cost at this kind of stage in the game. So 1 and then second anti-nuke picks that Yelona missile out of the sky. 4 anti-nukes remaining. Now the thing about using Tech 1 bombers like this is that they don't actually get shot down that easily by Tech 3 anti-air. So to deal with this, you actually really need flak. You need Tech 2 flak to deal with this effectively, because the SAMs fire a little bit too slowly. And Team 2 are now losing mexes to the artillery, of which there are 2, and probably another one coming. And Spiky Noob is moving his comm away on a transport. That is a big brain move. He's going to hide in the pond. Scouts are out, basically. Another donut takes down the Yelona. Where is it going to land? Well, it's going to land on what's left of the air grid. All the boys die. And they trade Yelona for Paragon again. Another anti-nuke dies. Wow. What is this Tech 1 PD here? I don't know. The Yelona gets restarted. Is the Paragon going to get restarted? I assume it will because it's got plenty of mass here. Look at the amount of mass. 1.5 million mass on the map to whoever wants it. And that is a lot of Tech 1 bombers. Wow. And the Tech 1 bomber formation here is looking more like a graphing calculation than... that is beautiful. Look at that. And no slowdown. We're still on +0. Every projectile getting calculated there. That crab is basically going to die in 2 passes from Tech 1 bombers. There are no ASF, no flak to protect it. Got to spam some flaks out of here. Are they making flak? Yes, he is. Spiky Noob is on point today, but he looks like he's going to lose 3 experimentals for his trouble. Look how quickly this poor spider is going to die. It's more non-consensual action there, getting bombed from the sky. You're going to lose an anti-nuke. This one's actually loaded. And there's kind of like no central base here. Another transport spam. This is what happens when someone leaves their, they leave their base manufacturing transports, but they've got it on repeat, so they accidentally make loads of them. So this look at this anti-air. It's going to pick up lots with each shot, look, but it's not really dealing with the problem. Each shot kills loads of them, but it just doesn't really fire fast enough to deal with the problem. Stacking up the kills, but really just need flak. Flak is much more effective. Yeah, building flak here, much more sensible. Look at that. Pew pew. And the planes are just falling out the sky. Chad flak versus Virgin T3 anti-air. And the map control is still looking pretty bad, although there's been a good advance here on the left. Is that an Awasa I hear? Is there another Awasa? There is another Awasa. And where is that going? No attempt to rebuild the Paragon yet. In fact, it's getting reclaimed. Why is it getting reclaimed? Reclaim these instead. Well, there's a Mavor under construction. That's why. The Paragon is being reclaimed into a Mavor. I feel like rebuilding the Paragon from half and then making the Mavor would be a much better decision, but I guess it's time to change things up. I mean, you know, you were an hour and 5 minutes into the game, you've lost 2 Paragons, maybe it's time to change plan. That is the most hideous overkill I've ever seen on a transport. Literally opening a rift in space-time to kill that one. And shield the Mavor. Yeah, the thing with these Paragons, they really didn't have any shields over them. They really need some Aeon or UEF shields. I guess they've only got UEF, but UEF T3 shields would have been way better than what they actually ended up with. Where are those artilleries going? Well, it looks like they're going on the factories. These engineers all idle. I still think that rebuilding the Paragon would have been a better choice. Azrael's been defeated. How did this happen? Did he leave the game? How has he been defeated? What happened there? Excuse me? Excuse me? There's no kill, there's no extra kill on this comm. So it wasn't a snipe. Telemazer white, says Gamer Grandpa. Yeah, Zasnova could make Telemazer. I don't know what these bombers are doing. They seem to be on a move command here, not very smart. But he definitely could make Telemazer right now. The weirdest run by you will ever see. 4 Awasas now. 4 of them. Oh, Team 1. How are you going to deal with that? They've basically got no... They've got no ASF. They've just got flaks and SAMs. But I don't think they've got enough flaks and SAMs. So the Billy Nuke is upgraded. He's out of the water. We need to keep an eye on this because whatever's going to happen here is going to happen real quick. If they can pick off Cascade, they can turn this game around. They're so far behind. Look, they're down 4-1 in eco. They have to snipe. They've got to turn it around somehow. Look at these Awasas in synchronized flight here. That's so much damage. It's just a big old block of tanks here. We've got TAC missiles out. And Cascade is going for Tech 2. Maybe he's trying to make himself more chonky? Is that what he's doing? I mean, that's pretty sensible. You just want to be trying to stop your comm from dying at this point. Scouts managed to get over here, and what do they manage to see? Well, Spiky Noob is seeing the whole base here, which is very strong. My Billy range. So they are going to try and do some sort of Billy attack. Very smart. They can't kill this. He's got too much health. The artillery looks like it's just going to rip them apart. The Mavor, though, the Mavor is actually finishing quite quickly. Will they be able to protect it? How is Spiky Noob's eco doing? Well, he's stalling mass like crazy. He needs to reclaim these. If you send, the good thing about drones is you can actually send some drones to reclaim things. Well, here comes the Billy by the looks of it. No TMD. How many T3 engineers are going to suffer here? Not as many as there could have been. White starts laser. Yes, it's time to snipe. Remember, White, you only have to kill anti-nukes. Well, there's so many anti-nukes though on the way here. The Awasas are trying to deal with the Cougars, but this is basically a purely anti-air army. Look at the amount of fire that comes off of them. Absolutely filthy amounts of anti-air fire. And these Othams really need to be given a move order in. Sitting here is no good. Okay, they have been given a move order. It looks like the Billy wasn't seen. There is no deep water on this map. Snipe the ACUs. Yeah, all the ACUs, all the key ACUs I think are in water except for Cascade here, who's on a transport and he's lifting his comm back to his base. The YOLO is almost done again. And it's going to be YOLO versus Mavor. It's time for the Tech 4 Boogaloo round 3. Both teams up to their Tech 4 again. These Othams running into a very fat crab here. Probably not going to get much done versus this. In fact, I'm pretty sure it can walk and do extra crush damage as well. Remember, experimentals in FAF can... They do damage when they walk over things, which is very strong. These Cerberus turrets, not the best type of turrets to use today. Probably want to be using anything else. Very strong in some cases. Don't write off Cerberus turrets. They have some amazing hidden properties, like they don't actually kill the reclaim when they kill units. They leave the reclaim intact. Very, very strong, but not against these kind of units. You just need something a bit more punching power. So the Mavor is up. It's got no power around it. I would just like to see some Tech 1 power around this. It improves the fire rate by about 15%. It's very strong. And where is the Mavor firing? I assume it has to be going after the YOLO. It's going here. Yeah, it is going after the YOLO. Okay, it is going after the YOLO. That's very sensible. Build P-gens around it. So we've got 2 comms back here. This is extremely vulnerable. Cascade's comm on a half health transport here. A half health transport. And there are scouts. He's been seen. Like, any anti-air around here will just... Like, if they could just sneak some... Like, just some... Even some of these would be able... Some Janus would be able to kill it with their anti-air abilities. A couple of ASF could basically crush right here. The Awasa's going in again. What are they fighting? Well, look at the amount of inties being built here. Where is this going? Are they going for the Mavor? I assume they are. Yeah, attack pings on the Mavor here. It's going to be 4 bombs. A Fat Boy finishes, which could give it some extra shield, but 1, 2, 3, 4. The Mavor gets killed. The base is in ruins again. Down goes the Fat Boy, down goes the Mavor, and the nuke is all lost. A bunch of Cougars roll off at a pretty good time there and start blapping away at the Awasas. It looks like Zenoba's comm might be caught out here. Oh, he gets down to the double Awasa, which are now fighting Janus. And over here... Oh my goodness, Cascade, what are you doing? He doesn't see the comm in the pond. He has Billy Nuke. Gamer Grandpa, you can do it. You can Billy Nuke him. You're never safe.
Nobody expects the Spanish.
He control K's his comm, which brings down the transport. And Cascade is dead. He never saw it coming, and this is now a 1v1. The eco is absolutely broken. Team 1 with 5 or 6 times the eco, but it's a 1v1 now between a 1200 and an 1100 player right at the end. There are chickens in the main base ruining everything. There's basically no units left for Spiky Noob. Is he going to get crushed again? It looks like it. He's got scouts out though. Maybe he can pull something off. He's got no telly because he's UEF. There's a lot of positive chat, which is something I love to see. Not crying and saltiness. Be encouraging to your allies. Who do you think is going to try hard to win? Someone that you are telling them they can do it, giving them positive reinforcement, or someone that you're telling them they're trash? I'll give you a spoiler. It's probably the person you're trying to help and be nice to. Riptides versus chickens is a terrible fight. And this giant boner here is just going to be left standing. The question is, what can Spiky Noob do, if anything? What would you do in this situation? You've got chickens ruining your base. I think he has to make gunships to deal with the chickens to start with. And then he needs to try to come up with a snipe attempt. He's so far behind in eco, even though all of this stuff is basically AFK. It might be that Allergen doesn't have the APM to deal with all of this, which is completely normal. Allergen has his own triple Fat Boy threat army, which is going to hoover up the Cougars. He's got all the artillery, and really he doesn't need to make a move. He can sit here and win with the artillery, and the bombers, and the Fat Boys, and his big old army. Where is Allergen's comm? This is the question. We'll use the comm button. Well, it's up here at the back. He's got almost no upgrades. If I was Allergen, I would be getting the upgrades as quickly as I could for health. Will the chicken find Spiky Noob's comm? It doesn't look like this chicken is actually going for it, but the chicken can ground fire the comm here. This water is not deep enough. The chicken is definitely not... The comm here is not deep enough to be able to avoid the fire. And everyone trying to give Spiky Noob advice here. What can he really do? He's got no nuke. Even if he did, there are anti-nukes. Fully loaded anti-nukes everywhere. This is super late game where the game has kind of deteriorated back down to it is at the start with very few units. And you need to start making choices with what you've got. There's so much stuff everywhere. Another Tech 3 Air HQ goes down, I think, there. Whole bunch of Kennelly boys standing inactive. What is Spiky Noob doing? Well, he's defending the Fat Boy push with his own Fat Boys. That's very smart. He needs to do that. It's a real shame these Cougars can't just turn their Gatling cannons down like some of the Cybran units can. The Fat Boy making use of its side-mounted sponsoon guns. It looks like the Predator from Warhammer 40k there with those side guns. Or just call that a sponsoon-mounted heavy bolter. Is that what they're called in 40k? It's been so long since I actually played, I don't really remember. That Fat Boy drive-by, look. Chicken just finishing off all the mexes. I mean, normally I should root for the lower rated player, but in this case, look at the eco, 10 to 1. I mean, it's been seen. I think their plan is to try and kill him with this, but it's been seen, and the comm is already moving. Like, that's never going to work. Actually, wait. Allergen is overflowing 1,300 mass. Spiky Noob, well, he's actually spending what mass he has. I think he needs to try to concentrate on his eco a little bit. The game is basically over. He has won, but if he doesn't take control of the eco and he lets his opponent come back in. Chicken here just deleting all the Tech 3 land factories as you might expect. Another Chicken just strolling past this anti-nuke. Getting bombed. Even if it dies, the Ion Storm will probably kill the anti-nuke there. Or maybe it will just walk over it. DPS from transports. What a desperate situation this is. And this is actually really bad news because the Othams have torpedoes. And although the torpedoes are not that strong, they will actually kill a commander with this many. A Paragon started, but surely there's nothing you can do about that. Come on, Spiky Noob, don't get crushed again. I believe in you. I think he's doomed. Trying to send the ACUs now, and maybe a transport. Maybe he could transport round and just drop and just go for a 1v1 fight. He's got T3 engineering versus T3 engineering and shield. So I mean, technically he can win a 1v1 comm fight. He's just never going to get out of his base with all these ASF. Cougars can't fire at ground. No, they can't. And the players are trying to point out where he actually does have units because he has so few things that he can't actually find where he's got HQ. This is a quantum gateway that he's got that's actually working. They've got some idle engineers here. These guys building Ravagers now back onto the Paragon. I can't see that surviving. And the chickens and the tanks are just deleting everything. Spiky Noob now having power problems. He looks finished to me, boys. Rastboy is getting hunted down by chickens with full vet. 350 kills on this chicken. It looks like Allergen is going to close out the game here. And Spiky Noob has given up. He needs to sleep. And look at this. The teammates trying to tell him not to give up. They've spent an hour and 20 minutes on this game. Why is he trying to finish the para? I really don't think the para is going to finish. The para is eating all the mass, and this chicken is just going to obviously kill off the... Power is the issue. So somebody who is, you know, higher the rated than me, someone who's like higher than 1500, how would you fix this? He needs power, basically. He's using RAS, all his money, all his power's going into here. This isn't going to be any better. Reclaim the Paragon, make Tech 1 and then Tech 2 power. I mean, that is extremely desperate, is it not? Cascade says, where are you hiding? Yeah, they're just going to try and hunt him down. Overflowing 2,300 mass. Allergen, make some shields around your comm or something. Get yourself safe. You don't need to take big risks. You just need to shield yourself up, make tele defense, do all the things that you should, surround yourself with gunships, and then cover the map in T3 scouts and strap bombers, and you will win. I don't see any way back, but maybe if he can get his comm somewhere useful, or maybe he can, if he could build an Awasa, maybe he could use it to bomb. But I mean, these artilleries are going to start primarying it, right? Where are the artilleries going? Well, the artilleries have been given an attack command here. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, I think the artillery is.
3 hours later.
Gamer Grandpa is trying to trick him. Is trying to trick him into deleting his comp to see the map. Come on, boys.
The next day.
Put it to +10. Here come the scouts. Well, he's chasing the chicken and he just gets blapped. It was too much. The eco difference was just too much. You played 2 hours to die like this. Yeah, sad. I think it was well worth doing that snipe there, trying to delete the high-rated player, but the difference was just too much. It was just too much by the end of it. We're going to end the replay. Let's see the scores. Cascade, 4 stars here. Look at the score. But he is very high-rated. It's, you know, Spiky Noob hung in there for a long time and he was making them paragons and staying alive. He did manage to keep the game going for a lot longer than he should have done. So maybe, I think MVP for Team 1, Cascade. MVP for Team 2 will pick Spiky Noob. Who gets the Derp Award? Well, there was really no horrific errors on either side. Although building those 2 crabs at the same time with 1 eco is perhaps a little error. That was a pretty good game. If you want to see maybe some dual casts, we'll get 2 people in, or maybe some of the games that I play, or maybe something a little bit different, let me know in the comments. I'll see what I can do. And apart from that, I'll leave you with Discount Keyboard Cat to play us out with a replay of the game on 10,000 times speed. See you next time.